Today, we're going to talk about what is entitled the Cherubic Command Center of Christ's Vehicle Throne. In the Ain Sof as the source. The Ain Sof is the source of all things, the limitless, boundless, inconceivable, dwelling in an approachable light. He has no limits, no bound, no scale. He's scaleless. You see? So we have this, the Ain Sof as the source. All things come from the Ain Sof, the source. All living things, all energies, nothing that existed, has existed, or will ever exist, can come, it will ever come from one thing. The origin is the Ain Sof, which we recognize as God. God that is undivided, that's not individualized. That is the Ain Sof. But the thing that the mechanism that we interact with co-creation, we get all our energies from the Ain Sof. But what we interact with to bring about co-creation, as we are co-creators with Christ and heirs of God. We are one with Christ who sits on the throne. One soma, one flesh, one seed, one body. So if you understand that Christ is the one that harnesses and sits in the command center, and the command center is the cockpit. He is the pilot, but we are pilots as well as this Cherubic vehicle throne. We're meant to govern over the Cherubic ladder throne vehicle, governing over the left and the right side of the tree of life, you see. And all this pertains to creation, co-creation, what happens upon the earth. The revealing and the propagating of the will and purpose of God upon the earth is through this cherubic throne ladder. And the one that is driving, steering, and causing things to occur starts within the command center of Christ, the cockpit, the pilot. Christ is doing this. He sits above the firmament that is above the four cherubim. That firmament is what is a script. It is a script layer that has codes, the Yod He Vahe layer that has codes, and these scripts unveil all the things that has been, is, and will be, is written on that script, that code, those codes, that layered firmament. It is a layer, a stone firmament. And what is above that firmament, that script, is Christ sitting on the throne. We are one with Christ sitting on the throne. Therefore, we also in charge. We also coordinate what happens upon the earth through our bodies, because we are one flesh, one soul, one seed with Christ. So it doesn't matter where we are on the earth, the physical earth. We are still one. You can be in Japan, you can be in Canada, you can be in the UK, you could be in Africa, you could be in Asia. All the people that are one with Christ are part of those that are steering and sitting on the throne and driving this cherubic vehicle, you see, that are in charge, co-interaction within this command center of Christ's vehicle. So it doesn't matter where you are on the earth, because we're seated with Christ in heavenly places. We are already there. We are Siamese twins. We're one with him. We're part of this command center. We orchestrate what happens in this command center through Christ, through our conscious willing in our bodies, our soul, and our spirit. So you got to visualize this, is that though we are on earth in this physical plane walking about, we are also seated with Christ in heavenly places, and this utilizing this command center that is a part of this cherubic vehicle, throne, ladder between earth and heaven, between the spiritual orders, these celestial orders of the constellations of the universe, and the terrestrial orders that are on earth. And that includes the various industries and sectors of the world, including the governments. So this also pertains to the tree of life, pertains to manifestation, law of attraction, in co-creation, how we create and bring the will of God in our own desires and wills and aspirations into the world. It is through Christ. Christ who sits in the command center, the cockpit of this vehicle, this Cherubic vehicle. And since we're one with him, he is the one that drives the throne. He is the one that drives that Cherubic vehicle. But since we're one with him, we have participation in this vehicle as well to bring about the will of God upon the earth, on earth as it is in heaven. Beyond the throne, we see the four cherubim. The four cherubim is a vast ecosystem. It's expanse, it's not compact. You see, it is expanded between earth and heaven, between the celestial orders, the spiritual orders, and terrestrial orders. The various 10 emanations in the 7 heavens, you see. So what this tree of life is the skeleton of the Adam Kuban. It's the skeleton of the Elohim. And what this is the house of God, the portal of heaven. Now we make up this house of God. And all the Elohim and the Cherubim and all the celestial orders and spiritual orders and terrestrial orders, they are appendages of the house of God. They are our arsenals, our weapons, our tools to carry out co-creation. So you have us sitting on the throne, being part of the command center, steering and driving. But you also have the cherubim, the cherubic ladder, as the appendages that surround us and assist us in our co-creation. Now, when the people of God are aligned and working and steering the right side of the tree of life, then you have angelic entities bringing about the script and the codes of God towards health, wealth, prosperity, justice, the new heavens and new earth, ecosystem, the powers of the age to come, the strengthening of the body of Christ in the Shekinah upon the earth. And this also interacts with the celestial orders, the constellations, the stars that have influence upon the earth because they're energies. These energies also have carry out the will of God upon the earth through their influence upon the earth. And then you have the terrestrial orders, which make up all that is on the earth, under the sea, in the air, and also including the industries of the world, the sectors and the governments of the world. Everything. Governments, education, health, finance, ecology. All these things were able to influence for the will of God, for our lives, and for the earth. But if you have the unrighteous people stirring the left side of the tree of life, then they are utilizing their own spiritual orders, their own fallen cherubim, their own celestial orders and terrestrial orders upon the earth. So they have the fallen angels, they have the fallen cherubs, they have the spiritual orders that they activate and use, which causes a weakening of the Shekinah and the body of Christ. And they also influence the negative side, negative counterparts of the celestial orders, negative counterparts of the stars and the planets to bring negative influences upon the earth. And they also use the industries and sectors of the world, the governments of the world, and all that is therein for a destructive purpose, you see. So either you are going to be in the cockpit, the command center, one with Christ, bringing about the will and purpose of God upon the earth that will benefit you towards peace, godliness, and prosperity and happiness. That's what you're meant to be and meant to have as one with Christ. You're one seed. You're the seed of Abraham, so you're meant to be blessed. But they have people of the world that are illegally holding on to your blessings because you have not claimed and you're not in a position to access and possess these blessings that are rightfully yours, you see. because we have certain spiritual, celestial, and terrestrial orders that are in place that favor the left side of the tree of life and works in a negative aspect in opposition towards the people of God. So in closing, that we are part of the command center of the vehicle throne of heaven that is above the firmament, seated upon the throne. That is the throne above the firmament that Christ sits on, is the command center, the cockpit that the pilot steers the plane, the vehicle, the aircraft in. And wherever we are on earth, we are still steering and orchestrating co-creation upon the earth through the various spiritual orders, celestial orders, and terrestrial orders that work on our behalf as appendages and arsenals of co-creation. But all of these things come from the source, which is the Ain Sof, God. And human eyes below the throne, that firmament which is the scripted layer, the codes on the firmament have the scripts and the codes for the universe and all that is and will ever be on that firmament layer. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.